I had done this a couple years ago, a DSM style winch, and I made from scratch. This is something that I've been thinking about for a long time, and I really like the idea of mechanical winch because Hey everybody, Mike here with Cactus Crawlers RC, and I am back again today with the FMS FCX24 K5 Blazer, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be talking about keycard winches. If you've never heard of keycard winch before, basically what it is a retractable keycard holder. So if you work for a company or you have access to an area where you need a card, like with a magnetic strip, and that way when you walk up to the door you could just pull the card, swipe, then let it go, snaps back into there, and you move on. So this is an old idea. I first saw it years and years ago. When people were putting these with hooks on the end on their 1/10 scale crawlers and not really using these things to, give them a mechanical advantage in crawling, but basically for like a scale look, and then they would come up to an obstacle and then they would pull on the string and, just kind of like drag the truck along over the obstacle as if the winch was actually doing something. It got me thinking, well, now the big rage is these 1/24 and 1/18 scale crawlers, and I wonder if the old keycard winch had enough strength in that spring in there to put a little tension on the front of these trucks, DSM style. The first truck that I wanted to try this on was the FMS K5 Blazer because she's a big, heavy girl. And if anyone could benefit from a little cheat with a mechanical winch, it's going to be this truck. And just do this test with the way that the truck comes more or less stock. So what I did for installing the keycard winch is I attached it to the front panel of the body. So the cool thing is with the FMS chassis and this big K5 Blazer, there's tons of room all over the underside of this body to put this winch. And for me, the best spot would be right there in the front where I'm going to have the hook come out to where a winch would probably naturally be anyway on a real truck. So I did drill a small hole in the bumper for the winch, and I did notch the body so it had a clear pass through, and I did line up the key card itself so that as the string comes out of the winch, it's not rubbing onto any part of the body or on the bumper. Around the edge it will a little bit because you are going to go at angles. You're not going perfectly straight outwards, but at least on anything else. So I did notch it pretty good. And the hook just easily pulls out of there, and there it is. And so, like I said, I could have it retracted all the way into the bumper, and it could be hidden for the most part. Or I could put it out, or I could put it on the brush guard on the front. And then, of course, for really quick access, right there on top of the light bar. The hook is actually a fishing treble hook. So I got a pack of these 25 treble hooks for just a few bucks, and for the most part I've been using these little guys here, and I've been snipping off the barbs. So you can see these really sharp barbs here, and I've been taking a pair of dikes and I've been snipping them right here. And then do that 2 more times. And make sure you're catching these barbs as they're clipped off. You don't want to get them in your carpet or your pet's paws. And there's the little hook with the barbs clipped off. And if you look at the hook that I did on the K5, you'll see it's got this little loop. So what I've done is take a pair of needle nose pliers, and then I'll orientate the hook so that this loop is flat. I'll use those 2 hooks to steady it like that, so it's flat, and then that is the barb that I'm gonna bend with the needle nose pliers into the little loop. Like so, and now you have a little loop. And that'll give you something to grab onto when you're going to be placing the hook. Now, the last thing with the hook is you're going to see that these 2 are much closer together than those 2. And so what you're going to want to do is bend these 2 other parts of the hook together. Like that. So take those needle nose pliers again. Just give them a good squeeze. A little too much, widen it out a little bit. There you go. There. And now that hook is ready to go onto the spool. So since the K5 already has one, we're going to be installing this spool onto a different truck. And this is the truck we're going to be putting the Keycard winch onto. So I'm repurposing the old Deadbolt. Gave it a new flashy paint job. This is like a nice pearl white, couple of blue stripes on there, and I'm going to call her Shelby. Nice. So what I like about the Deadbolt is it already has this recess in the hood, which is going to be a perfect location for the winch. So depending on your vehicle and the body style that you're going to choose, it's going to depend on, you know, where you're going to be putting the winch. But for this purpose, it's going to be much easier to put it right here in the hood, and then right here in what's left of a grill after I chop most of the front end off. I will drill a little hole right there, and that's where we'll have the rope and the hook protruding out. And then I'll just store the hook by bringing it up and looping it onto the bar and holding right there. So as you see, here's the recess where I'm going to place the spool, and I'm just going to use some double side tape to hold it right there. I will have to remove this metal clip, so we'll get that off by taking those needle nose pliers again and just bending it out, up, and after it's bent up, it'll just pop right out. And we're done with that. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to clip off the end of this. And I can't stress this enough. You want to be really careful when you do this, because if you don't secure the line over here on this side by wrapping it, taping it, or whatever, and after you have it clipped before you tie the hook on, it'll spool in here, you'll lose it forever, and you might as well just throw that thing away and start again. What I suggest is to take a piece of tape, take an Allen wrench, just normal Allen wrench that comes with the SCX24s, lead out maybe about 6 or 8 inches, wrap it a couple times, put it about halfway, and tape right over it. And that'll hold it there until you do the clipping of this, passing it through a hole in the body and attaching the hook. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to drill a hole right here. And this is just a really thick piece of Lexan that I glued together. So as close to the body as possible. I just want one small hole that I'm going to pass the rope through. I'll go get that done. Be right back. Alright, and just like that I'm back and the little hole is drilled. So there you can see it right there. Little hole in the front of the grill. And now this is the part where I keep mentioning that you want to make sure that this thing doesn't unspool after you cut it. So I've got it secured, wrapped around an Allen wrench with the tape. I'm going to place it gently right there. And then I'm going to clip that piece off, and I have just the string. So I fed the string through the hole. And now I'm going to take the hook and I'm going to tie it just like I would tie if I was fishing. And if you've never fished before and you don't know how to tie a hook, lots of YouTube videos out there on how to do it. Or you could just tie a couple square knots in there. But once you have that tied on there, nice and tight, then you could go ahead and let loose with your spring, just like that. And now, the last thing I want to do is double side tape it right there. There you go. Awesome. And here we have one Keycard winch. Tucked nicely up in there. Not going to get in the way of anything. Awesome. And there you go. Keycard winch tucked up in there. Shelby is looking good. And this thing is going to work great. What? If you have any questions about these Keycard winches, I picked up a pack of 6 of them at Walmart. I think this whole pack for like $4 or $5 or something like that. Again, the treble hooks at the same Walmart for about the same price, you know. And I'm keycarding all my little guys. So, you know, I've got the K5 done, the creep body, that goes on the same chassis as the FMS K5. That one has a Keycard winch. The body that usually goes on this chassis, Old Blue, well, Old Blue has a Keycard winch too. So, you know, for a few bucks, I was able to Keycard winch, you know, pretty much all my little guys. If you have any questions about these Keycard winches, you know, just drop a question down in the comments. I'm happy to answer them for you. I kind of like the idea, so let me know. Is this cool? Do you think it's dumb? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious to see what other people think. Again, thanks for checking out this episode of Cactus Crawlers RC. Be sure to come back next time. You know, I get some cool footage of these guys on the backyard course now with these little Keycard winches, and we'll see y'all next time.